Hello. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your Siren Song. At the bottom of your deck, you have the Strength card, card of Leo, and the Three of Pentacles. So getting command over your lower nature while working with others. That could be it. All right, let's start your reading, Libra. So we open your reading with the King of Swords, card of Aquarius, logic, command over the mind, and then we have the Six of Wands, emerging victorious. Next card, Libra, King of Cups, another king, emotional maturity. This is the card of Scorpio. The previous king is the card of Aquarius. Scorpio and Aquarius. And we have the Ace of Cups. So, King of Swords. So, logic, victory, emotional maturity, and pure love energy. Your chorus is the Inventor. The Inventor is just a very innovative, sees everything as a tool, sees way beyond the common understanding of every object, has pockets full of like odd little things, you know, paper clips, rubber bands, everything, so very creative minded, always thinking in terms of problem solving, but doing so in a very creative and new way, very innovative. Opening your second verse, we have the Four of Pentacles, often referred to as the sort of miser card. It comes up when there's something that you're intent on holding on to. Sometimes the grasp can be too tight. Sometimes it's about attachment. And from there we have the Princess of Swords. So this is the actual Page of Swords of the deck. I've been misreading the Prince of Swords as the Page of Swords in this deck. To be honest, this card looks far more princely to me. Yeah, it's beautiful. There's a sort of spirit. There's like a spirit guide. So, it's beautiful. It's kind of depicted like a superhero type energy that's kind of keeping watch over the kingdom with a sword. See the sword right there? And then there's this kind of like spirit messenger. It's like, yeah, sorry. This is the first time I've like truly studied this card. It's very beautiful. Then there's this kind of like blue lightning. It's depicting sort of like the heavenly realm as a reflection of the earthly realm and a sort of blue lightning between them and this light right here. Anyway, it's gorgeous. And then the World card. So you completing a cycle, sort of gyring to a new level of existence, new level of understanding. You know, could be like in common parlance, like a new timeline. There's an eye up there. See the eye? It's like a pupil. And this looks like a chandelier, but it's really like a light language. See it? That's all like light language. So it's kind of like getting a download, right? The hands are up, receiving. There's all this beautiful light language coming in. This eye here. Libra, you're so awesome. Aw, Three of Swords. Some kind of disruption. It's like, oh, it's kind of awful feeling right now. It just kind of feels like something just crashed you right down into like the current reality that you see. And you kind of like your bird came down with you. You still got a feather in one hand from kind of like being up there, like in this beautiful space, which is where you're kind of residing, actually. But then something just kind of like brought you anguish, like all of a sudden. Now, I know Three of Swords is always like the heartbreak card in readings, and I'm not arguing with that by any means, but I think it's important to note that the Three of Swords is an air energy, right? So it's about something occurring in the mind. So it's the anguish of heartbreak that occurs in the intellect. You know, it really is just like a disruption, right? So Two of Swords, make a decision. Four of Swords, get a rest where you appreciate that you're alive, right? Between those two things is this kind of like anguish that happens, this like three, you know? And it really, what I'm getting from it is it just like brings you down to earth, like really quickly, from this kind of like elevated state that you're sort of living in. Yeah, let's see what happens when we bring the chorus over and join it with the bridge. Oh, beautiful. Wow, I like the way this card kind of like matches like all the blue I'm wearing today. This is the Heart of Sky. So this is it's like the raw energy from which all creation is extracted, right? So kind of reminds me of like, have you ever heard of Wallace Wattles? So basically just like every time we create anything, we make it out of this raw material. So it's the raw material from which we turn the formless into form. And so when you combine it with the inventor, right? Libra. Beautiful. It's kind of, we're going to clarify everything, but it's sort of kind of making sense to me why this felt like such a drop, you know? Excuse me, like from this world card in this kind of state of like, you know, excuse me, receiving like downloads of this light language or whatever, to just sort of be like plummeted to the earth for a minute by something. Yeah, so let's start to clarify. Let's get a better idea here. Just a quick look at the bottom of the deck. You have the Strength card. Under there is the Five of Wands, some kind of competition. And under there, the Eight of Pentacles. So something that you're working on or productive within. Under there, a decision. And then under there, the Empress energy and the Queen of Pentacles and Temperance. Okay, so I think the focus on this three, the Empress, as the sort of underlying energy you come in with, and Queen of Pentacles as well, sort of on the earth realm. And then this choosing a path, work, conflict, or competition, rather, and strength. And then it's Three of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles again, and the Sun, card of Leo, and then there's that Three of Swords, disruption. Under there we have Justice and the Fool. So Justice, Fool, Three of Swords, the Sun, Eight of Pentacles, and Three of Pentacles. All right, Libra, let's clarify. So, King of Swords opens the reading, logic, clarified by the star. So these are two cards of Aquarius. All right, so Aquarius is the area of the sky where, well, from Capricorn to Aquarius, right? That's the nakshatra of Dhanishta. And then all through Aquarius, and then Aquarius to Pisces, is sort of like moving the hard work of dedication of Capricorn into something that's best for the collective, and then moving from what's best for the collective into the cosmic self of Pisces. So that's the sort of transition of Aquarius. I know this is a Libra reading, and you're the cardinal sign of air. This is the fixed sign of air, Aquarius. Okay, King of Swords in itself is about masculine logical energy. And Aquarius itself is about blessings and being very free with love energy. See, she's actually in the pool of love energy. And she's just dumping it from cup to cup without any concern about spilling it. She's just very free with that energy. Blessings, and then there's a messenger there. Right, the star. Okay, so that's how you come into the reading. Emphasis on that Aquarius energy. And then you're victorious, and that's clarified by Six of Cups. So Six of Wands, Six of Cups. Emerging victorious, right? And then nostalgia, the sun in Scorpio. Six of Cups is the sun in Scorpio, so it's when the powerful luminosity, luminance, luminary of the sun shines up through the emotional body, right? That's like how nostalgia comes back to us, right? Like a memory that's triggered by like a scent or something like that. It's just kind of like it rises up through like the whole emotional body, the whole emotional history. So Six of Cups. Now this could be having to do with someone, from your past. Absolutely. Yeah, it's, my readings unfold, that's why I've started time stamping, because, my readings unfold. So time stamping I thought would help, because people can just sort of like look around and see if they feel like it's for them. Your King of Cups, sort of card of Scorpio, is clarified by the Five of Swords. So some conflict for which you need emotional maturity. Some conflict in since we have the Six of Cups earlier, like card of Scorpio, some emotional conflict. Let's keep going. So Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. So that's pretty powerful energy. So an opportunity regarding your resources is being given to you. And a beautiful full cup of love runneth over as well. And then here's the Inventor. So having to get creative. The bottom of the deck is Strength card and Three of Pentacles. So it has to do with, the whole reading has to do with command over your lower nature regarding working cooperatively, right? There's Eight of Pentacles under the bottom of both decks. So it's something that's meaningful to you, something that you've been working on, something that you've been productive within. It doesn't necessarily have to be work. It could be work, but it's something that you've worked hard on, right? So you come in with this logic card and these blessings, this card of Aquarius. And then victory and Six of Cups, victory and nostalgia. And then King of Cups, emotional maturity and conflict And then Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. So what I see here is there's a lot of at stake, and you're going to have to get inventive and creative. And, you know, there's a bird here. See the bird? There's a bird. So somebody just like whispering in the ear of the inventor, kind of at all times. It's kind of like the idea that the inventor energy is spiritually inspired. You know, I think that spiritual inspiration is probably necessary in order to move this tender moment of this, whatever this project is for you, whether it's a relationship, whether it's work, whether it's a project, whether it's family, whatever it is for you. It's a tender moment. It's a tender moment in that project, you know? And you're trying to hold on to control regarding something. And that's clarified by Knight of Cups, card of Pisces. So a love offer. And then this Princess of Swords, which is Page of Swords. But to me, it feels more like a guardian energy. And there's that little spirit whispering again, you know? Very similar sense to this fast-moving messages. Fast-moving messages. See? All those rods. They all have lotus flowers on the top. Not quite bloomed yet, lotus flowers. Which are about, like, you know, enlightenment or like love itself. Same difference, right? Right? If we were all in a pure state of love, then we would all be enlightened. But in this deck at the Ace of Cups, there's a lotus flower sort of underneath the ace. So I know that that's what that... So fast-moving love messages regarding enlightenment coming in. Like, that's, yeah, sort of guardian, heavenly realm being reflected in the, you know, this is like higher mindedness. Like, and then we have this World card where I saw this kind of light language, this kind of like sense of download so that you could move to a new level, and then that Six of Swords. So Six of Swords, kind of letting spirit take you to calmer waters. Yeah, and which makes sense to me because there's a lot going on that you have to get like sort of creative about, right? Like the whole reading is about like command over your lower nature regarding working with others, right? There's an Eight of Pentacles, so here, and then competition, and then Eight of Pentacles, and then Three of Pentacles, and under there, Eight of Pentacles, and then the Sun, right? So more Leo energy, right? So this is Leo. This is Leo, like the Sun. So shining the light on this kind of like important, productive project regarding, requiring working together. Under there, remember there's like a little Three of Swords. And there's a moment where you're trying to hang on to control to this sort of like love offer or loving communication. And so we have this beautiful World card where like this light language is kind of getting downloaded into, you know, the inventor with the spirit whispering in his ear, right? Trying to solve this problem because like all of this is at stake, right? And so then you're like, okay, safe harbor, you know, like safe harbor, you know, and this Three of Swords is Ace of Swords. So there's some kind of clarity regarding a disruption, Libra. But this is your energy, right? This is your energy. So you're in your own element. You're applying your own element to this situation, you know, and you're dealing with it like, I mean, this is you, right? And you're dealing with it by like sort of going off by yourself and taking care of it in a very sort of, I guess I want to say professional way, you know. but it's not necessarily a professional situation. It could be like handling relationship or family matters in a professional way. Like I think about like professional friendships, right? Like there's decorum and there's dignity, like dignity, decorum, maturity, like all of the characteristics of the inventive problem solver. You know, if we're relying upon an inventive problem solver, right, to sort of pull a form, a solution, like out of the formless, to just take that creative energy, be guided by spirit, take that creative energy and invent a way of working together while having command over one's lower nature. You're handling this situation, whatever this disruption is, you know? And it's not necessarily a broken heart. It's not always a broken heart. Sometimes it's just mental anguish as a result of disappointment, because it happens in the mind. It's like what happens in the mind when the heart is disturbed, right? It's like a sort of anguish. And you're taking this beautiful air energy, your element, and applying it to it. Like you're just like grasping that sword. Before you do, you stay in this gorgeous energy of your new evolution. You're being able to see with the eye the downloads of this sort of light language. You're evolving to this new level, and so you go off to kind of like calmer waters to be in this kind of solving mindset, right? Just like think of this like sort of inventor under the open sort of like dark blue sky, like deep twilight sky, just like receiving from the formless these kind of like these like downloads to solve this problem that has an impact on a collective. Aquarius, you know? I mean, this, I understand it. It may feel abstract. And if it does, I regret that. I hope there's somebody who's getting it, you know, what I'm seeing. I don't know how well I'm explaining it. I really get it myself. Overall, I'm just going to do a quick review, okay? So overall, command over your lower nature in order to address the effective cooperation or collaboration of a group of people having to do with work where there is some kind of like competition, something you're working on, not necessarily professional work, okay? The card opens with this kind of like emphasis on Aquarius, emphasis on being inventive and creative within the collective. What's best for the collective, right? Logic, blessings. You're victorious, but there's some kind of energy of nostalgia, something rising up, like some kind of like Sun and Scorpio energy, right? And then this kind of emotional maturity. See how he has kind of like, he's scratching his head, like there's conflict. 5 of Swords. King of Cups, 5 of Swords. Just kind of like scratching his head, like, what? And then Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles is like, okay, there is so much at stake here. And then you kind of embody this inventor energy, right? Like spirit whispering in your ear, creative problem solver. Everything becomes a solution. Everything becomes a tool, you know, pocket full of, you know, things that might apply. Think Leonardo da Vinci, like always jotting things down. Just has a completely active mind with regard to solving, Libra. And there's something you're holding onto. You're like attached or clinging or in a sense of needing to control. 4 of Pentacles. Something having to do with love messages or the exchange of messages, emotional messages. And then this kind of energy of like the guardian, this guardian, right? And this fast-moving, like, love messages, emotional messages, powerful messages coming in. And then the World card. Like this state of like receiving downloads, new timeline. I mean, I know I'm sounding super new agey right now, but like this is how it feels. It's kind of like light language coming in. And you're like, just, okay, let me just take this whole thing to calmer waters while I figure out how to address this disruption with clarity, you know? And then the inventor moves over and joins Heart of Sky and just pulls answers out of the formless. And I guess we'll see what kind of answers comes up with over on Vimeo. If this is where I leave you, Libra, it's been amazing in a way. There's been a little kind of like pulling teeth feeling about it, but I love the message. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, Libra. Bye.